Okay guys, now we have this construction site owner that is swallowing his words. He's calling Donald Trump his hero. Now he is facing all type of hardships because of Trump actually applying said measures, and he is losing the support of his workers, and everything is kind of falling apart for him, and to be honest, you voted for him. So where's the surprise here and on all levels? This is a great video by Jay Reed. I just wanted to do a reaction to it, guys. Y'all can't miss this one. Let's go ahead and take a look.
What's going on, guys? My name is Mario Guerrero. I'm a second-generation business owner. We've been in construction for over 30 years, and we've never seen what we're having to see nowadays. It's extremely sad that our workers here in the Valley, in South Texas, are very, very afraid to even come to work. We're having to go to lengths and measures of fencing in our whole subdivision that we've developed just to give peace of mind to even workers that have proper documentation to be here. My grandparents are American citizens. We've been here a long time and we've never seen something like this.
You had to fence in the entire construction site just to give peace of mind? Are you really concerned that ICE is just gonna roll up and just do their thing on your property? That's, wow, that's extreme measures.
We voted for Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump, you're supposed to be our hero, man. But I don't understand.
I cannot make this up whatsoever, guys. Like, seriously,
Wow.
How do we get this far? How do we get this far to the point to where you have people who supported the president are now turning back on him and saying, oh, this isn't what I voted for? All over, everywhere, no matter what sector we're talking about, it happens across the board. And this is how far it's gotten. The fact that he supported Trump and now he's mad that Trump is actually enforcing the policies that he's been talking about since day one. How can you possibly be mad about it? He's doing exactly what he said he was gonna do. A lot of people just didn't go out and do their research. A lot of people didn't inform themselves exactly what's going on. It sucks that his workers aren't showing up. I'm not wishing harm on his business or whatever, because I actually support people to start their own business. But the fact that his workers are scared to show up to work regardless of if they're American citizens or not. You guys know how the ICE and all these operations work. Like, they show up and it doesn't matter if you have your papers or not. Because you have a color of your skin, because of your accent, we've seen countless of videos over and over, because of your accent, your color of your skin, and whatever other prejudice is that they want to target you for, that is how far it has gotten. But
it has got pretty bad, man. This man said with proper documentation, all of his workers are allowed to be there, is what he's claiming, or is allowed to work, should have no worries. But the worry still exists. They still put up a fence. But Trump is making y'all put up fences for him at this point. They didn't put up a wall. He putting up fences. Yeah, it is a shame that you got to go through such extreme measures for peace of mind. And look, construction isn't the easiest job. Like, not only do you have to worry about safety, your own safety, other people's safety, all those things. And now you have to worry about somebody rolling up just to detain you. You'll be fine. You're gonna be fine, but you gotta get detained for 72 hours so they can make sure you're not. You are who you say you are. So that's insane. It's crazy. But I just want to highlight the fact that you called this man a hero. You called this man a hero to you. I don't understand why you will give this man such a title, or any man such a title, without doing said research. All right. Now, a lot of this is going to come back to bite you in the butt, man. This is the reason why you probably made this video.
You know what? Let's finish the rest of this video. I can rant about this all day.
This makes any sense for anyone. The Hispanic community is extremely, extremely afraid. There is fear in people's stomachs, and that is not good. We believe that you could change this by tomorrow with your strength and your policy. We know that you are a builder. You've been in development, and you know that we need our people to build America. Immigrants are the foundation of America. We are all immigrants here in the United States, and we gotta save that American dream. God bless.
I cannot make this up, guys. Like, people just don't. Oh man, I'm not trying to beat them up or whatever the case is, but like, people just don't understand. You don't get it. Like, you just don't get it at all whatsoever. Like, how many times does it need to happen? How many times do we need to go through this cycle for, you know, for the dots to connect? How many times? Like, what does it take for people to truly understand that they don't, and don't get me wrong, it's not, I don't think their goal is to get rid of all Hispanics. I don't think that's their goal. I hope, well, at least I hope that isn't their goal. I think ultimately, because they ran a failed system, the system sucks of what they're doing, and pretty much they're going through and just targeting people because they don't know how.
Yo, at the end of the day, on this one, man, you gotta understand, this just sucks. All right. They put enforcement rules into place that people that probably isn't monitored the way it should be, probably is not executed the way it should be, probably not enforced the way it should be. And we see that all around the world where people are right now just, you know, having their right to riot and do all kind of stuff. Minneapolis, right? Other places, Texas, you know, they're retaliating. And it got to a point where, you know, hey, this is where you're at. They're targeting people regardless of skin. I mean, like, you know, you can be yellow, brown, you know, black. You know, they're targeting black people just to for you know, other. Don't think just because the color of your skin that you're off the limits to these guys. You're not. You're really not. They can probably roll up on me and ask me questions. Roll up on my average viewer and ask you questions. Roll up on these guys because they where you from? Somalia, China, Cuba, not Cuba, but you know, some of these other, you know, southern countries where we're at, and it's just like they're just gonna detain you. They're doing it to have something to do. They have no real focus, and that's where it's at. And they're targeting most brown skinned people, just because, especially in this field, in this sector, you're in the construction business. They know, you know. I'm gonna be honest with you. When's the last time you rode to a Home Depot or a Lowe's and you used to seeing small groups of my Latino brothers out there trying to hustle for some work? That's not happening no more. You don't see that. You don't see that. So it's crazy. Just we got to this point, right? Let's just keep watching.
I would have used 1 penny, but we don't make the pennies anymore. We save money. Can't charge $1 to any country under IEPA. Not $1. I assume to protect other countries. This must have been done to protect those other countries. Certainly not the United States of America, which they should be interested in protecting. That's what they're supposed to be protecting. But I am allowed to cut off any and all trade or business with that same country. In other words, I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country. I'm even allowed to impose a foreign country destroying embargo. I can embargo. I can do anything I want, but I can't charge $1. Because that's not what it says. And that's not the way it even reads. I can do anything I want to do to them, but I can't charge any money. So I'm allowed to destroy the country, but I can't charge them a little fee. I could give them a little two-cent fee, but I cannot charge under any circumstance.
Now, we all know Trump ran on the idea of tariffs, right? We know that was the thing. That was what he talked about. But of course, I don't think he has any other economic policies a lot aside from tariffs. Nothing actually to stimulate the economy. I don't think there's any other policies. I could be wrong. Maybe he may generate some other things because, I mean, he's got 3 more years within office. Forbid anything happens during the midterms. But, you know, I don't think there's any other plans. He banked on this entire term to be ran by tariffs. And now that they're being shot down, now he's seeing the effects of this. But you know, tariffs are paid. They're not paid by other countries. I don't know why people don't understand that. Why?
Yeah, it's something that we domestically have to deal with. It's not something that other countries have to worry about. It's just that if we're seeking outside help with other countries, we have to pay even more of a fee to get said services. Therefore, they lose the business because domestically, I'm not gonna pay you. Like, let's take avocados for example, right? We have to go mostly to Mexico to get those avocados, right? I'm the purchaser. now with this tariff, I have to pay extra for that avocado. They're not paying extra for. They're not charging me extra for this avocado. Or getting penalized for selling me this avocado. I have to pay more domestically to get these avocados here. So therefore, I don't want to buy these avocados from Mexico. I'm gonna go to a southern farmer in Southern California or New Mexico or somewhere else that can also supply said avocados and save a few dollars. That's kind of the gist of the tariffs, how I have learned it.
Why do people just continue to just let that fly over their head? Yeah, the other countries, they have the tariffs on them, but guess who pays that tariffs? The companies, the US companies that are buying from those countries. And guess what? The companies get that money from. They get the money from you and me, everyday consumers. Guys, that is how it works. It's a constant cycle. I don't get why people don't understand it. And I get what he's saying, oh, the money is there or whatever the case is. But in reality, let's talk about the reality, the facts about this. It is not. It's coming from the American people. It's basically a fundraiser. But anyways, this video right here, I actually showed it in the last video, but I think it's very relevant for today's video. So we're gonna watch it again and break it down as well.
We are behind, and we're one of many companies quite behind, several weeks behind.
As her subcontractors are faced with this daily question with ICE in the community.
Are you comfortable going to work?
The answer, increasingly, is no, as more are detained at or on their way to work.
How do I guarantee you that just because you've done things through due process, that if you show up to work today, nothing's going to happen to you?
You can't.
We can't.
And while her customers are understanding, work has nearly stopped. Cash flow doesn't add up, and she fears after 15 years in business, this will be her last.
We don't have very many crews working at all right now, but the ones that we do are taking risks. When it happens to someone you know and care about, it means something different. But I know I'm far from the only one in the situation that I'm in. I'm genuinely very afraid of what's going to happen.
I assume building will slow, costs for these services will go up. Do you think that's fair to say?
Yes. What I'm hopeful for is that we can all come together and work together to make this process safer and more efficient. How do we protect the people that we need to protect? And it's just not that simple.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. Sorry to cut you off, Jay. It's not that simple, man. Y'all getting these construction crews, with this being said, it's not only just affecting just the crews themselves. It's a domino effect. It's gonna bleed over into the suppliers. It's gonna bleed over into the market. It's gonna bleed over to the interest rates. It's gonna fall and fall and fall and fall, into the point that when you guys watching, you decide you want to buy a house next year, you go and look at these prices and you're telling yourself, no, this shit ain't what's up. It's not reasonable. I'm not doing this. Interest rates are crazy, and guess what? They're not even doing anything to fight back. They're just accepting it for what it is. And I think we're just going to have a long 3 years of really, really hard real estate, business, the economy surrounding that sector, that I'm hoping for some relief for a lot of people. Because you got Gen Z people, you got these 25-year-olds, these 24-year-olds that, want to live that dream and go get a house, but they can't. They're getting priced out of every single thing, or they have to settle for the worst of the worst. They do have to settle for the worst of the worst. So it is getting out of control. What do you guys think, man? Should ICE fall back? Should they get retrained? Is what they're doing even making sense right now? Is it affecting the economy? How can ICE, the pressure from this law enforcement agency or from around the country, affect things that aren't really relevant to law enforcement? How is that a thing? And I just had to sit there and ask that question because it bugs me sometimes. I'm like, damn, dude, they're making they're running amok up in the streets. Housing is just stupid. You get what I'm saying? Hiring is just stupid. Travel is just stupid. It's just no one's controlling it. It has this domino effect based off fear, discomfort, and uncertainty. But guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.